The 2024 transfer window is officially open and Arsenal fans are asking one question only. Who are we going to sign? As Mikel Arteta tries to win the Premier League, surely big moves are needed. So today we'll find out the latest on our forward pursuits, discuss a surprise move from Real Madrid, find out who is the winger that Arsenal could be signing, and get an exclusive insight on Mikel Arteta. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Baz14, welcome back to your boys channel. Hope you guys are doing sensational as we approach the start of the window and the Euros are around the corner as well. So much happening. So as per, don't forget to smash a like on the video if you enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Less than 2k away from the big 200k, you guys know what to do. But starting off with the forward update. The massive news going into the window is all about Arsenal and their brand new forward. Mikel Arteta talked about the fact that he wanted a 30-goal season striker, someone to give Arsenal an edge in the Champions League. That's what we were talking about Benjamin Sesko. 6'5", he's got the pace. Could he be Arsenal's Erling Haaland? Well, as Fabrizio Romano said a few days back, Sesko was taking more days to decide his future. With Leipzig's new contract on the table, he said no to a £30 million offer from Saudi Arabia, while United, Arsenal and Chelsea had all approached him. A departure looked set, but then came the breaking news. A Fabrizio Romano exclusive dagger. Sesko has decided to stay at RB Leipzig and sign a new contract on improved terms. Decision made for the talented striker similar to what Haaland decided back in his days at BVB. Sesko will stay at Leipzig with a new gentleman's agreement for a future exit, which is then officially confirmed by RB Leipzig. A new contract until June 2029, with Sesko preferring development plans over Premier League proposals from Chelsea, Arsenal and Man United. I wasn't actually as surprised when I saw this news. Leipzig only signed Sesko at the start of last season. He only became a starter midway through it. The idea of moving to a club like Arsenal straight away, going into a side that's already so complete, he was never going to be a guaranteed starter. While he could stay at Leipzig and be a star, sign an improved contract and higher wages, where still at 21 years of age he can develop further, complete his game and then make a move next year. As Sesko's agent says, as a football agent it's easy to talk about developing top talents, until you are faced with a great temptation. In that moment your values and vision are truly tested. We do what we say, what we believe. Development is the key. Sesko to Arsenal is offered this summer, but it's not the end of the saga. Having signed the new contract with a gentleman's agreement, as confirmed by Bill, Sesko does not have a written clause in his new contract. Instead, RB Leipzig and Strike have come to an agreement that the player will leave next summer if the club is willing to put a large sum on the table for him of up to 75 million euros. That's where Arsenal might turn their attentions elsewhere. The whole reason they were in for Sesko in the first place was a market opportunity. A release clause of 60 million euros, very affordable, that would have been a bargain for a young striker of his potential. If he has another fantastic season where he scores even more goals, Leipzig will have the chance to demand even more money, while Arsenal might turn their attentions elsewhere, maybe to the Serie A. According to Ed Aarons of The Guardian, Arsenal can now reignite their interest in Joshua Zirkzee of Bologna, who has a £34 million release clause, although he's also being heavily trapped by AC Milan. This would be another market opportunity. A 23-year-old striker with a similar frame to Sesko, 6'4" with a bag of pace to provide an outlet, scoring 11 goals in his first ever season as a starter. In terms of the player himself, he was set to go on holiday, but as Fabrizio Romano now confirms, Zirkzee has now been called up by the Dutch national team to replace Broby, while AC Milan remain locked in talks with his agent. Zirkzee will now travel to Germany and be a part of the Netherlands squad for the Euro 2024. And here he was alongside his agents, an old Arsenal friend in Kia Zirkzee, with a caption of "When you have to leave Disney for the Euros." This is where we might have a problem. Arsenal and Kia Zirkzee have a very long history. From the signings of David Luiz, Willian and Cedric Suarez, Zirkzee is one of the most powerful agents in world football, who are able to make transfers happen will always demand a high amount of money. That's where you've got news coming out of Italy, claiming that Kia Zirkzee, the agent of Zirkzee, wants around 50 million euros in commissions. For an Arsenal side that have only spent £24 million over the last year in agent fees. That is something that goes against our policy. You also have to look internally, with the end of season form of Kai Havertz that caught so many eyes, turning up for Arsenal when it mattered most. As Dean Jones says, I still think that Kai Havertz starts next season as a 9 for Arsenal. Zirkzee's been made aware of that. Likewise is the case with Benjamin Sesko. So if you're forward and that's where you're going, you'd want to get guaranteed game time, something Arsenal aren't necessarily given to a number 9 type of striker. To end the year with 6 goal contributions in 6 games, 13 league goals in your first full season, as a number 9 his numbers are comparing to Erling Haaland. Just like Sesko and Zirkzee, he's also standing at 6'4". When you've got that profile and you look at the current centre forward market, a real lack of a standout option, that Declan Rice player that you know Arsenal have to go and sign. It's no surprise to hear from Team News and Ticks that he doesn't now expect Arsenal to sign a number 9 this summer. Sesko was a market opportunity, with a 9 never being Arsenal's main target. Things can definitely change and I wouldn't rule anything out, especially approaching a Euro 2024. If certain players have great tournaments, Arsenal might still find some opportunities. But as confirmed by Sam Dean, Sesko's decision to remain in Germany doesn't necessarily mean that Arsenal will switch their attentions to another centre forward. However, they are also keen to strengthen in the wide positions of their attack, and may now prioritise a winger instead of a more traditional striker. Ultimately, what Arsenal fans want is more goals, an outlet that has pace to run in behind, provide those individual moments of brilliance that could thrive in the Champions League. Will that player be Nico Williams of Atletico Bilbao, who has confirmed by reports has a €58 million release clause in his contract, with 16 goal contributions in La Liga last season, all while completing a whopping 2.8 dribbles per game. Reports have come out that Arsenal are planning to make a move for Nico Williams this month, with sources claiming that Arsenal's interest in Williams, who has a €50 million release clause, is driven by Mikel Arteta. When you think about the history of Mikel and wingers, the way he's developed Bukayo Saka into a superstar, his one-on-one work at Man City with Leroy Sané and Raheem Sterling, Nico Williams then becomes an even more exciting option. One of the fastest players in La Liga last year, completing the joint most dribbles per game in all of La Liga, all while still being 21 years of age. It's an opportunity that you can't look past. But speaking on his future, Nico Williams says, "I'm very happy in Bilbao. It's the club that's given me everything, but it's clear where I'll be for pre-season and that's all. I've told my agent that I don't want to know anything until the Euros is over." But when talking about exciting young wingers, you can't look past Ligue 1, a league with a history of providing top young wingers to the Premier League. The latest one is Desiree Doué of Stade Rennes, who at 19 years of age has just come off an 8 goal and assist season, while completing 2.1 dribbles per game at a very impressive nearly 70% success rate. It's a player that when you watch play you can see his talent straight away, reminding a lot of fans of Eden Hazard, the way he's able to operate in tight spaces, hurt teams centrally with nimble dribbling. As Ed Aarons of The Guardian says, Rennes' Desiree Doué is now on the radar of Manchester United, PSG and Arsenal, and he could be sold for as little as £34 million. While in 2022-23 playing the right hand side, last year he was thriving on the left, right-footed and able to cut inside, playing the same position as Gabriel Martinelli, while also able to back up Bukayo Saka. As the Rennes president says, "We know that since he was young he's been followed by the biggest European clubs. That won't change this summer and we'll see depending on the offers." This would be an exciting project, but then you think about Arsenal's current stage, trying to get over the line and win a title. Should we instead look for someone that's a bit more ready-made? Was reports in Spain confirm Arsenal have interest in signing Real Madrid's Rodrigo in his 5th year for Real Madrid at 23 years of age now. Last year Rodrigo scored 10 goals and got 5 assists, more importantly showing that he could thrive once again in the Champions League, scoring 5 goals as Real Madrid won the entire tournament. When we're talking about individual brilliance and versatility, not only is Rodrigo able to play on the left and right hand side, but look at his recent performance for Brazil, an 8.1 performance against the USA with 1 goal scored, completing 90% of his passes with 1 key pass, 4 shots on target, 3 out of 3 dribbles and 7 out of 9 ground balls. That, my friends, is what you call fundamentals. Of course it won't be easy because he's got a long-term contract, but when you think about the fact that Real Madrid have just signed Kylian Mbappe, on the left-hand side they already have Vinicius Jr, alongside the signing of a wonderkid like Endrick, could Rodrigo be a market opportunity, help Real Madrid balance their books, while following in the footsteps of Martin Odegaard and Mesut Ozil, providing Arsenal a superstar opportunity. Moving on to the goalkeeping update. After winning the Golden Glove in his first year as an Arsenal goalkeeper, David Raya has earned the trust of many Arsenal fans, replacing a fan's favourite Aaron Ramsdale becoming Arsenal's new number 1. He was signed last year on a loan with the obligations to buy, and Fabrizio Romano now confirms that Arsenal are completing the formal documents for David Raya to make the move permanent. Surely that means that Arsenal's goalkeeper dilemma is finally over, or does it? With the future of Aaron Ramsdale under massive doubt this summer, set to leave after the Euros is over, Arsenal will once again be on the market for a keeper trying to find a replacement. While some fans believe that may be a backup, there could be another market opportunity. As reliable reports in Spain confirm, Arsenal have interest in signing Real Madrid's Andre Lunin, who on the contract until June 2025, is now in his final year at Real Madrid. A 25-year-old Ukrainian international that's going to be at the Euros has just come off his best ever year as a goalkeeper, starting 21 games in La Liga after the injury to Thibaut Courtois, all while keeping 10 clean sheets, to then started 8 games in the Champions League and once again being impressive. Save Real Madrid against Bayern Munich, he was dropped for the Champions League final, not trusted over the returning Courtois. It makes sense why he would want to leave Real Madrid, he deserves to be a first-team goalkeeper. Then you look at the fact that he had a 73% save percentage last year, the 3rd highest in La Liga, with a 4.3 goals prevented. Those stats are made even more impressive by this one here, the fact that he was only making 2.3 saves per game, the lowest in La Liga. A sign of a top goalkeeper that despite not having many saves to make, is still able to save you goals and remain concentrated. We've also got a massive update on a midfield target. Aston Villa's Douglas Luiz, who Arsenal reportedly have interest in, looks like he's on his way to the Serie A. As Fabrizio Romano confirms, Juve and Aston Villa are more than close to a final agreement on a deal involving Weston McKennie, Samuel Illich Jr. and a €20 million fee going to Aston Villa, with then Fabrizio confirming that Douglas Luiz has accepted the personal terms with Juventus, with Villa willing to accept the deal. All that's left is the personal terms with Weston McKennie and the deal will be sealed. It does seem like a weird deal for Aston Villa, but the main reason they're selling is because of the PSR rules. They were looking to make a deal outside the Premier League, and it looks like they got their way. But for Arsenal themselves, they've also got some potential outgoings. As Graham Bailey says, Arsenal have told both Alexander Zinchenko and Kieran Tierney they are free to leave the club this summer, but they want Jakub Kiwior to stay. Club sources have not ruled out the departure of all three, but it would appear to be an unlikely scenario. Left back is an area I think Arsenal fans are underrating. When you look at our Arsenal squad and profiles that we don't have, an overlapping fullback stands out straight away. Pace on the left hand side that would have been offered by Kieran Tierney, if the guy could actually stay fit. There's one player that's on the market that suits that to a T. I am talking Bayern Munich's Alphonso Davies, who according to reports in Spain, Real Madrid are after and remain optimistic in signing. In the final year of his Bayern Munich contract, now available for around £45 million, the idea of him overlapping Gabriel Martinelli, offering Arsenal an electrifying bit of pace, not only useful going forwards but also in recovery. I wonder if Arsenal have their eyes on the deal. But talking of futures, what's happening with Gabriel Jesus? The star of 2022-23 that struggled last year with knee injuries, now left out by Brazil for the Copa America squad. As things stands, here's what he's up to, training alongside Neymar as they try to get strong for 2024-25. With Jesus dropping this video here, showing that he's very focused on his knees, his main area of concern last season. It's been a long-term issue all the way back to the World Cup. Mikel Arteta even confirmed at the end of last season, Jesus was playing through injury. The positive update comes from inside the cannon, formerly known as AFC Bell. In a recent update from the players' camp, it has been confirmed that Gabriel Jesus will not undergo surgery during the upcoming summer period. Instead, the player has a comprehensive and carefully crafted long-term rehab program until directed otherwise by the club. I actually think it's a good thing he's not going to the Copa America, giving himself time to properly recover. Return to the Gabriel Jesus we know and love, the game changer at the start of 22-23. But what's happening with the future of our boy Emile Smith-Rowe? Having had face-to-face talks with Arsenal at the end of last season, trying to understand what they have planned for his future. According to reports on the Telegraph, Fulham have made Emile Smith-Rowe one of their summer transfer priorities, and are ready to bid for the player early in the window. A sale would represent pure profit for Arsenal from a profit and sustainability perspective. Entering the final 2 years of his Arsenal contract, the number 10's future is definitely the most uncertain. And the reason I say that is because he's probably our most saleable asset, with the likes of Aston Villa and West Ham also reportedly interested. Let's not forget that back in 2021, Villa actually made 2 offers to sign Emile Smith-Rowe for £25 and £30 million. But we have to wonder, is he ever going to be an Arsenal starter again? No longer playing a 4-2-3-1, without the overlapping fullback like Kieran Tierney, alongside a very hit and miss injury record. But let's just say we could find an upgrade. Sign a player that has a similar quality, but times by 2 in terms of ability. The player I'm talking about is Jamal Musiala of Bayern Munich, who is now in the final 2 years of his Bayern Munich contract, with reports confirming there is a belief among clubs that Jamal Musiala may be buyable this summer or next, with Musiala known to favour a move to the Premier League as his next destination, for the competition's immense international profile and the fact that he grew up in West London. We've seen the quality in the Champions League, the fact that he's one of the best dribblers to world football, able to play on the left hand side and in that number 8 pocket. The thought of him alongside Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice is a scary midfield three. When you talk about the Champions League and those individual moments, there are very few players as good as Jamal Musiala and making something out of nothing, as Musiala says his contract expiring in 2026. In terms of a new deal for me, the coach decision was important. I want us to play good, attractive football and compete for the title in Champions League with a good team. This is how I can show my qualities. But in terms of actual signings, Arsenal are closing into a potential youngster. A Fabrizio Romano exclusive confirming, Arsenal have made a proposal and are currently leading the race to sign Ryan McAdoo of Chelsea, a 2008 born talent who is expected to leave Chelsea this summer, with the best project proposal so far coming from Arsenal. This would be a part of Arsenal's new strategy, as David Ornstein confirmed at the end of last season. Arsenal's academy structure is changing. They will now be more aggressive in terms of signings, going to a rival in Cobham and taking one of their best young players. It's a sign of them actually going out there and doing that. Moving on to the other Arsenal news today, the main thing we have to talk about is the upcoming Euro 2024. Set to be a massive tournament for Kai Havertz in his home country. It all starts off as Germany take on Scotland on match day 1, followed by Saturday as Jorginho's Italy take on Albania, while on Sunday Kiwior's Poland take on Netherlands, while Saka and Rice take on Serbia for England. Saliba's France will also be involved as they take on Austria on Monday. But is the Mbappe centre-backs actually going to be starting? Well, the massive breaking news comes from Fabrice Hawkins, confirming the Deschamps and his staff are now considering to start Saliba in Euro 2024. As great as it is for Saliba, I'm kind of selfish as an Arsenal fan, and the fact that he played every single game for us last season means that he might not get a rest, but at the same time it's a chance for him to gain experience, play at a high level like the Champions League, and show all of Europe what he's made of. As Kylian Mbappe says on Saliba, I look at his journey with the pride of an elder brother. There is no taboo between us and we tease each other. I often tell him that he wants to be the star of Bundy, but that will never happen. You also had Arsenal's Brazilian boys Gabriel Magalhaes and Martinelli catching up with former Arsenal goalkeeper Matt Turner, as Brazil drew USA 1-1. Their focus will of course be on Copa America, with their first game on June the 25th against Costa Rica. But what's happening in terms of the Arsenal gaffer? Currently on holiday getting a deserved break. As Gabriel Jesus says, Arsenal will time Mikel Arteta down to a new long-term contract before accelerating the summer recruitment plans. In an ideal world, the deal would be completed before the start of the return to pre-season in July. This will be a major priority because Mikel's entering his final year, and if the reports are confirmed that Pep is leaving next summer, Arsenal will have to be careful. Because in a market full of young managers, Mikel Arteta is up there as one of the very best, alongside childhood mate in Xavi Alonso, who in a recent interview confirmed, "I was lucky enough to have a friend in our neighbourhood who was crazy about football, and his name was Mikel Arteta. Every day we were taking our skateboards down to the beach to play tennis, to surf and of course play football." Even at a young age, Mikel Arteta was crazy about football, with Alonso saying this kid was maybe even more crazy about football than me. He was a little bit younger than me and my friends, but you know how you always push your little friends at that age? Well, we tried, but he was a competitive monster. He wanted to win so badly, even if it was a game on the beach. It was a love for the game that you cannot teach, you were born with it. It bonded us very closely and still does to this day. So much so that even though he's a Bayer Leverkusen, Mikel Arteta still asked for advice. As Alonso says, a few months ago I got a call from Mikel. As always, we talked about football. He said, "We've got Bayern Munich in the Champions League this week, what do you think?" And I said, "We've got West Ham, what do you think?" Another insight on the fascinating character of Mikel Arteta, who in the current market has given Arsenal stability. While Enzo might be going to Chelsea and Ten Hag is staying at Man United, Liverpool have got Arne Slot. I want to ask you guys a question about next season. Pep Guardiola is a robot and he's going nowhere, but who do you think will be the best of the rest? And challenge Mikel Arteta alongside the robot in Manchester. That is the video there though, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of the social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was your latest episode of the Transfers FC, as the Euros is now here and the transfer window is officially open. Arsenal, it's time to make some moves and get the fans excited for next season. So we'll see what happens and we'll talk very soon. Take care, in a bit.